Why, hi there, everybody. Welcome to very late 2020, early 2021. Why, thank you, Iowa. We're going to talk Iowa today. Another one of my favorite states. I have friends in Iowa. I've been to Iowa, driven through Iowa multiple times. I'm wearing a shirt that I bought in Iowa right now. You're just gonna have to trust me. I don't have the camera on me right now, but I went to the Field of Dreams, the set, where they have that stadium and stuff, the Cornfield Stadium. I went there. It was raining. I didn't actually get to see the field, but I went into the gift shop and I bought a nice shirt, and I'm wearing it right now. Anyway, point is I'm a big fan of Iowa, so let's talk Iowa payroll because they've released 2021 rates. That's why. Thank you guys for doing that. Look at this, effective next year. Thank you for being on time. So they did this back in October. So I've done Iowa in the past. They did make cost of living adjustments. They raise some of these amounts in their formulas here slightly every year. So I'm going to talk about how you annualize wages in Iowa, what you're going to need to do, what you're going to need to fill out, what you need to get from your employees. This is a 50-state payroll version that is the coolest payroll file on the face of the earth. And it's going to show you how to do this. So you get the Iowa W-4 filled out. They fill this out. They're going to tell me how many total allowances is what comes out on line 6. So that's a number you're going to need. When you get that from your employee, you can then start dealing with the other aspects of the formula. But once you get this, you're going to get this amount right here, which is the number of allowances for your Iowa employee. Could be 1, could be 2, could be whatever. You don't need to worry about a state filing status for them or any of that stuff. You just need that allowance number and if there's any additional withholding for your Iowa employee. When you get that, what you're going to do is you're going to want to annualize your wages. They have these multiple step process. And within that step process, you're going to annualize your wages is the best way to do it because it's easiest. And then depending on how many allowances they claimed on that Iowa W-4, you're going to deduct this amount from their wages, their annualized wages. And they also want you to deduct out the federal withholding for the period. So there's 2 things that they want to have you deduct out as they figure out what your preliminary taxable Iowa wages are. And that's a tricky one because pulling the federal withholding actually comes from a different area. You have to look, you're like, wait a minute, I got to figure out the federal withholding before I figure out my Iowa withholding? The answer is yes. That's the way they want you to do that. So this federal withholding is all the way over here, and that has to be incorporated into the formula. So that's just an interesting aspect of Iowa that I do not often see in other states, but it does have you do that. So you subtract out the federal, you subtract out those allowance amounts from your annualized wages, and you get Iowa taxable allowance wages. Then you're going to run it through this formula. And this formula is the annual version of this table right here. So it's this part over here on the right. This area here, you're going to create a big nested if formula for all these different levels of income. And that's what this big ugly formula is right up here. I can paste it in the comments if you need it, but you really should just use the file because it's incorporated and it's looking at this taxable wage amount that you've also pre-calculated. But that's how you do that, is you write that big nested if formula to do that. And then you just figure out how many pay periods you have in the year. You divide the number of pay periods in the year, and you end up with your Iowa state tax withholding for your pay period. And it shows up just like that on your pay stub. This guy made $1,250 in a weekly paycheck. He has $62 of Iowa tax withheld. So that pretty much does it. At least Iowa, I got to give them credit. They have 1 table for all filing statuses. That's nice. They do the best they can to make it as simple as possible in 3 pages. They're already updated for 2021. I'm really enjoy the state of Iowa. I have multiple clients in Iowa from several years. Everyone I've ever dealt with in Iowa is super cool, and that goes back decades. So Des Moines, beautiful capital. I'm driving through there, and it's the middle of the country. It's a good area. So anyway, if you're interested in this payroll file, this is just one of many states. We're doing a full 50 states. You'd have a state tax report from Iowa right here that would show up. And among other things, the quarterly filings and things, we could make automatic PDFs and stuff to do all that, or you could just file it online and have the totals in this simple reporting structure. There's a lot of ways to do it. But anyway, Iowa in under 5 minutes. Beautiful state to be. It might be a little cold this time of year, but it's going to get nicer soon. I'll probably be there before Valentine's Day. So good luck, everybody. Payroll should be easy, so make it so.